am here with
Candell.
And you are doing a talk at CoCamp on
Introduction to jQuery, the JavaScript library.
Speaking of introduction, we do have to get a little close up of the name tag. It's quite lovely.
That's care of Brandy.
The heart is what
I do have her autograph on the back just for future. So if she ever makes it big, I can cash in. Is really the point. So.
Nice. Okay. So back to the talk.
Yes.
Introduction to jQuery.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have probably heard about jQuery at this point, but give it like the real brief synopsis of what it is.
jQuery is really a library written on top of the JavaScript that you're used to using, but it simplifies things like selecting the DOM objects, and Ajax is about 100 times easier. So that's sort of what got me into it, but really the talk is about selecting your objects and your tags and whatever you need to do there, and then manipulating your content without having to go back to the server.
Okay. So with an introduction talk, what do you try to focus on with the crowd and when you're going to do your talk?
Well, you know, part of the importance of jQuery and JavaScript in general is connecting the dots between HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript part. Because if you don't know HTML or CSS, jQuery can get kind of confusing because the selectors, for example, are based off of the CSS selectors.
Okay.
So kind of connecting the dots and then showing how selectors play a role in importance, and then the events and the bindings and those types of things that really make it easy to get into jQuery, so that you can see that it's really a much simpler approach to doing JavaScript development.
Okay, so is jQuery basically what you consider to be like a more or less de facto standard? Because I remember like 3 or 4 years ago there was like prototype,
right,
jQuery, and now it's the only thing I ever hear of is jQuery.
Yeah, I think it's slowly becoming. I think that's a religious argument,
right,
that really not one person could answer. But for the most part, I think jQuery, from what I'm seeing, is the standard.
Okay,
and it's definitely where I would start. It's the small. I think it's one of the smallest, if not the smallest. It provides the most functionality, and it's really the easiest to implement. Plus all of the content delivery networks that support you not having to have that on your server and caching and such.
Yep. And speaking of standards, you have the standard haircut.
Yep, I was sort of under the understanding we needed to do that. So.
Yes, everybody.
Yeah,
there he does. So next time if you want to speak, you got to shave your head.
That's right.
So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.